Hello, my name is Jonathan White. Myself and my wife Elizabeth create mixed media artwork here in Twillingate, Newfoundland, Labrador. Primarily use wood, textiles, and acrylic paints. So here is an example of one of our works, the Breach Quilted Edition. So here there are multiple elements. We have textile work, which is quilted in a pattern that's supposed to represent the crazy quilt, which is quite popular in Newfoundland traditions or even Atlantic Canada. We have numerous wood applications. This component here and here is driftwood, which we collect here on the beaches, as well as some reclaimed wood that we paint out with acrylics for the purpose of making the whale reaching out of the water. Here we have another traditional salt box house and quilt here, all carved out of wood and painted with acrylics, just to show the rugged nature and beauty of our coastal Newfoundland and how close we are in the proximity of the water and the cliff sides and things like that. So it's a simple piece in terms of its components, but together it creates a nice harmonistic piece, I feel.
And behind you?
Yeah, so these are what we're known for. Another series. So basically the whales are made out of reclaimed wood we find around here in Twillingate. The bellies are made from salvaged driftwood, which we refer to as wormhole driftwood. So basically piers on wharfs that are underwater, submerged for years and years. Over time they dilapidate, and it creates all the little creatures in the water, creates these pitted textured look on the wood. It goes in very small, but we kind of make these the bellies from those, and then we use just eastern pine for the fins. So it creates a couple of things. There's different textures. It goes from very rustic to very, I'll say, clean lines. And these pieces, we've shipped these all over the world, really. It can fit in a number of different spaces, we feel, whether it be a very rustic space or even the contemporary space. So this is kind of the backbone of our business, are these whales.
What's it like to work with driftwood and reclaimed wood?
It's a challenge. We aren't trained artists, so we kind of learn as we go. This is year 5 for us, so we kind of adapted our workshop and our tools and our methods to working strictly with driftwood. We don't use I'll say traditional woodworking methods a lot of the time. It's just what works. But generally driftwood, it is, I would say, similar to working with hardwood. It's just that it's a little more brittle. It tends to break easier. It is quite hard on the equipment. So even though a lot of these woods started off as softwoods, it kind of works more like a hardwood. And it's almost like a bone. It's porous at times and hard yet brittle at the same time. So it can be a challenge. So we just, based on the piece, we kind of adapt the wood to what we're thinking about at the time. So when we're planning a piece, if we're using driftwood, so in this case a belly, or for like our Breach series here, we're using a lot on the land. We'll pick and choose what we want to, we look through our collection, we'll pick up the pieces that work best with it. So here we have the piece, Stage of Life. We created this piece in 2025. This would be the reproduction canvas of the original. A lot of our themes have been more about narrative themes in terms of like going visiting grandparents in rural Newfoundland, Labrador, or like representing past ways of life. So this is one of our first conceptual pieces. It's basically mirrors like the concept of the tree of life. We call it stages of life. So basically rural Newfoundland, or Newfoundland as a whole, started because of the fishery here. All the harvesting of the ocean and bringing it back to provide income as well as a food source for our rural Newfoundlanders and Labradorians. So the concept of the boats bringing in the food to the wharfs, and then it would come down, and then the footpaths here goes to all the different communities or houses of the town. So it's almost like a tree with photosynthesis, using the light to collect the wood or collect the food, and then bring it down to the roots for storage. So it's a conceptual thing. It's been very well responded, and it does represent rural Newfoundland, Labrador, I think, quite well. So we'll go, this is one here is a little bit more Canadiana, I'll say. So this one here is called Still Got It. This scene is actually in my hometown of Newtown, which is in Bonavista Bay, Newfoundland and Labrador. So when I was growing up, we did actually skate on the saltwater inlets, coves, and tickles, as we refer to them. In the last 10 years or so, because of global warming, this has not been able to happen. So I feel this is a part of our culture that is slowly slipping away. The theme here is basically two gentlemen there in their mid-40s, I'll say, or a little bit older in life, and as the young kids come up, they think they come to a point when they think they can challenge the older generation in a game of hockey, and this basically shows that they the older folks still got it. The young players just they couldn't beat their I'll say their older family members. So that is a piece near and dear to my heart. These two jerseys here are actual Newtown jerseys that teams in the past wore when there was a bigger population there. And since our town has amalgamated into a larger center called New West Valley, so these jerseys aren't worn by our local hockey teams anymore. So the big part of this piece was to, I'll say, immortalize those two jerseys, as well as just show the scene of skating on that particular area. And that is a theme that is common with a lot of Newfoundland and Labrador artists that tries to, I'll say, immortalize rural Newfoundland life. Hockey is such a big thing here in Canada, so this is our contribution to that tradition of representing outdoor hockey.
Do you have presence online?
Yeah, we have a large presence online. We have a website. We ship all over. We advertise all over North America, but we do ship to Europe as well. Most of our, I'll say, advertisement and filling in people with news is usually on Facebook or Instagram. It's nothing quite like coming into the gallery and seeing things for sure. So here we have our original offerings this year. Every year we do 2 or 3, usually from January month right up until the beginning of May, before we go into our stock driftwood production. So this here, Stages of Life, was previously discussed in the reproduction there. But everything here is made out of birch, with the exception of the lines on the fishing boats there. So yeah, all the water is carved out of birch using Dremel tools, as well as the stages. The boats are all made out of one piece of birch wood as well, and the grass and the accoutrements there, same thing. One interesting part of this build is that the wharfs are actually made from reclaimed wharf pieces here in Twillingate. So the wharfs made from wharf material is something that's, I'll say, gives a little extra touch to it. So here we have a second piece here, probably our most popular piece. It's called Safe Haven. So this piece here is basically thematically a little more simple. It's just a lighthouse here on the coastline. It's obviously an impending storm here with rough seas, and it's just showing the boats who are fishing or doing any type of mariner work that this harbor is safe. The main, I'll say, goal of this piece was to use different techniques. So the light beam here is actually made from epoxy that we did a mold for and poured. The reasoning is to give the light a little bit more of a transparent look, whereas if we had to do it with wood, it would be just a solid. Wood is not transparent whatsoever, so it gives it a little look, a little shimmer to it. All the waves here are made out of wood. A lot of people think it's like made with like clay or something, but everything we do is wood. And then we have some driftwood elements here that are kind of tied in. And we use driftwood a lot for the rocks because there's lots of, I'll say, dynamics and cracks and crevices, and it kind of does look like rock. So that's that piece there called Safe Haven. Yeah, really happy with that piece. All right, so we have some puffins here. This is part of our stock series. We make these all the time based on demand. So puffins here, Atlantic puffins, are a very popular reason why people call them the Newfoundland Labrador. They're a very interesting bird to observe, and it does bring a lot of people here. So in terms of our pieces, here we have again the quilted textile sky, which is meant to represent the crazy quilt in Newfoundland. We have puffin here made out of driftwood, painted with acrylics. The background is carved and painted wood, again with acrylics. We have some driftwood here to represent some land, and some driftwood up here as well. And these pieces here kind of does represent what we try to do in a lot of our pieces. We try to blend textiles and woodworking with acrylics to create something that's unique, but yeah, it does represent Newfoundland, Labrador, and our style. So
I hope you enjoyed.
So again, my name is Jonathan White. My partner and I, Elizabeth White, create all the things here at the White's Emporium. We're making new stuff all the time, and really hope you enjoy to look around our gallery and a little look into our process and what we do here.